I gotta tell you this quick, powerful, motivating story about the courage that it takes to get your life to the next level. Okay, this goes back to, I was stuck in a tiny one-bedroom apartment with my wife and my dog and cats. And we were suffocating, like the walls were closing in on us, and we finally got the courage to get out of there, saved up a little bit of money, and we got into a two-bedroom apartment. And so we moved into this two-bedroom apartment, and I knew in my tiny little landscape business that I was now going into like the fourth year of the business. Totally ashamed of myself because I had all these low-paying clients that I had picked up that I was terrified to raise the price on. Now my back was against the wall because we had a two-bedroom apartment. I know this sounds funny, and somebody said in my comments was, they're like, you preach mediocrity, Keith. I'm not preaching mediocrity. I'm trying to help people get out of dead-end jobs, get their business off the ground, and cross the 100K mark. Amen? Let's do it. All right. So now my back was against the wall, and I had to face my clients. I had to raise the prices because like I know, if you've got a service business and the springtime rolls around, all the promises that you've told yourself, I'm stuttering because I'm fired up. All the promises that you told yourself that when the spring rolls around, I'm raising all my prices. I'm going to tell the customers. But here's what happens. If you raise the prices too high too fast and all the customers want their work done again and the customers start saying no, you're losing customers now, right? Because you've raised your prices. They're dropping like flies. You're realizing they don't care about you. All they care about is the money. All these customers that you thought were loyal to you and they're faithful to you and you thought that they were your friends, you find out how much they care about you and your family and your life and your future when you raise the price. You find out that most of them, not all of them, most of them don't care about you, right? And I totally get it. It's a commercialized thing, but all right. So my back was against the wall and I had to go and those bottom 20% of the clients that you got to get rid of like right now or raise the price. You don't just get rid of them, you just have a conversation. It's called a difficult conversation. Go to audible.com and listen to the book called Difficult Conversations. There's another book called Crucial Conversations. They'll help you out tremendously. So the customer calls and she's like, hey, when are you going to come trim all my bushes and pull all my weeds like you did last year? Here's the conversation. This was so tough. And this lady was so nice. I thought she was like, she still is a nice person. Just now when it comes to, I understand some people are on a fixed income and they can afford what they can afford. And when you raise the price, they get afraid. But here was a big turning. This turned the tides for me. I was going home. I'll just skip you all those details. This is how I raised the price. Customer called. Now I had to pre-script this conversation and think it out because the year before, what do you do? You buckle and you just keep your mouth shut and you keep doing it for the same price. And then you're kicking yourself and you're angry, you're upset, you're imploding on the inside, and you are literally like having an internal breakdown and nobody else knows it but you, right? This leads to a rough road. So this time I knew I had to grow. Customer calls. She says, hey, when are you going to get me on the schedule to come trim all my bushes and all this? So I said, well, first we need to just have a quick conversation. This year we've had some inflation. We're taking to the business to a more legitimate step. Blah, 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 blah. The customer doesn't even care to hear any of that conversation. I just want to say, in order to keep serving you at a high level where we can be on time, and I got to raise the price. And we're doing just a price raise. Not too much of a price raise. We will grandfather you in because you're a favorite customer. She said, well, how much is this price raise going to be? Lady instantly got triggered. Just what I was afraid of. Now, when you've got hundreds and hundreds of clients coming in, that stuff doesn't even affect you. You care about the customer. But from a business standpoint, it's just you're just sifting and sorting and sifting and sorting. Now, there's people also in my comments that say, you're a scam artist and you're a ripoff. And most of those people don't really know much about business. They don't own a business. They don't understand a P&L statement, profit margins, overhead, cost of goods sold, the cost of a secretary, workers' comp, payroll taxes, general liability insurance. There's a ton of expenses, right? So if you say you charge it $1,000, you're probably making 400, 300. Depends on your business. Hopefully it's more than that. But back in the day, I was charging $140 to do something, and there till 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So I did all the math, and I realized that I was doing this lady's job for a profit of about, something where I was making about, I think about $20 to $30 profit from working, being there from 8 a.m. all the way till 3 p.m. And I was actually losing money and going in the hole rapidly because I liked the customer and the customer liked me. Didn't economically make any sense, but all the feelings aside. So the lady goes, how much is this? How much of a price increase? So I said, well, I've done all the math, and I have to charge you a minimum of $210 for it to even be worth it for me to even do it. And even at that, it's a super deal. And that's when I came up with the $200 minimum, then the $250 minimum, then the $300 minimum. Last year, it was, depending on the area, $700 minimum. This year, I'm looking at $1,000 minimum. All these minimums can be broken depending on, I'll spare you those details. But the lady instantly went into like this panicky thing and started yelling at me, and all she cared about, and I totally understand now, right? I don't want to look like I'm crying about this. I'm just talking about this is the transitionary period you're going to have to go through if you want to take your service business to the next level, whether you do landscaping or window cleaning or soft washing or house cleaning. You have to get to the point where you're not afraid to have difficult conversations. Even if you mess up the conversation and you look stupid or you don't come across in the most professional manner, go have a couple dozen of those conversations and you'll get better at it over time, but you're going to have to start somewhere. You're going to have to walk away from the difficult conversation, banging your head against a wall, feeling stupid, feeling like, why did I say that? Did I come across as unprofessional? I think this is all part of the growing pains. And this is why it's important to get around other successful small business owners who are going through the same thing and have gone through it before, because they can help coach you and massage through this pathologies. Because if you don't correct this, and you start having the conversations now, the difficult conversations, they'll grow and they'll fester, and then you become this neurotic, kind of like me, a neurotic small business owner who is obsessively tied to these weird ideals that don't serve you. And that's where you were in business, years and years and years, and it's not getting any better, right? So the lady is like now getting pissed off, and she's yelling at me, and all she could say is, I can't afford that. I said, well, and I was about to buckle, but I was like, I'm really, really, really sorry, but the last, and I said something really unprofessional because I didn't even know what to say. I just said the truth. I just stuck with the truth. I said, last time I did your job, I only made, I think I did the math, and I made $22 profit off of your whole job. That's all I made. And I don't remember what she said, so I don't want to say, but I remember her response was something that just totally validated why she is not my customer anymore. It doesn't matter if it's a she or he, it's just the customer, right? The response was like, oh my God, this customer actually doesn't even consider her at all. And of course they don't. Like when you hire someone to like clean your house or your carpets or do your landscaping, or you go buy a door or go get gas, you're not even, like, the human race, I'm just going to digress for a second, it's so, including me, so spiritually immature. Like we're actually spiritually infants in compared to like the universal spiritual progression of where we could be. I believe we're like 1.5 million years, this is some crazy shit. We're 1.5 million years behind our evolution in our ability to be. So you have egocentric, which is me. We're like chimpanzees. Like if you take a monkey, poachers that do this, I've heard, horrible, but they'll burrow a hole in a tree and put like a nice, like a nut, right, where a monkey wants to get it, and the monkey will stick his hand in the hole, grab the nut, but then he can't pull his hand out because his fist is too big, and the poacher supposedly can literally walk right up to the monkey and just lap its head off, and it's got the monkey, because the monkey is so selfish, it will not let go of the nut to save its own life. Like, think of how we are as a human race. Like, so the first step is egocentric. The second step is ethnocentric. Ethnocentric is where you consider everybody else and we. Like, you actually really care about other people, people in line, people in the red light. When you're driving in traffic, you're like, oh, it's we. This is us. These are all my neighbors in traffic. You're not upset at any of these people because you're one of them. We all vibrate. We're one, right? And the next is world-centric and then cosmic-centric. I'll spare you the details. But so I realize how egocentric we all are, including myself, especially in these moments. And basically the lady was upset and yelling. She says, well, who else am I going to find to do this for me? Who is going to do it for me now? Who's going to trim my shrubs? Who is going to trim my shrubs? She just went frantic and started yelling. And like, I said, lady, I'm sorry. I would love to continue to do it, but I have to do it. I can't afford that. She went into this whole crazy victim cycle and started yelling. And it was like, I felt horrible. And I got off the phone. I said, well, I'm really, really sorry. I don't know what to do. And it looks like we're not a good fit, and I can't serve you anymore. She's like, well, can you do it for $150? $150 is the most. I said, I did the math, and I just can't do it. She's like, why such a tremendous price hike? Why such a tremendous price? How can you go from $140 to $220? I said, because I was charging you so little that I literally am about to get an eviction notice. And it's all my fault. And I'm sorry. I'm an idiot. I'm stupid. And it's like, basically, the customers aren't saying this because most customers are good. And none of them are really bad. Some of them are bad. But they're basically saying, I don't care about you. I don't care if you go out of business and end up in a dumpster and end up homeless. I don't care any about that. I could give a care less about you at all. If you died today, all I would care about is I wouldn't even come to your funeral. I wouldn't even care. I was just like, like your obituaries. Your landscaper died. You know what most people would do? I don't know this for sure. I'm probably just being a mean guy now. They would go, who's going to do my landscape? Now I have to go through the inconvenience of going on Google and finding another landscaper? That's all they really care about? That's not true. I'm being mean because I guarantee you, if you've had a business for a few years, you have customers that genuinely love you, and they would cry if you died, and they really do care about you. I've seen this happen in my own business, so I don't want to over polarize and say all customers are bad. They're not. Most of them are good. But what I am saying is I feel icky now for saying that. I feel like I've lost my composure, but I'm going to stay here with you. Okay. I feel like you have to just see it for what it is. You have to see and look at the raw, uncut, unfiltered truth beyond your rose-colored glasses and say, this is what it is. It is what it is. Now, you get to the point when you're experienced enough, you got a multiple six-figure business and you've been through hundreds of these conversations, you don't even get yourself in that position where you're having to have a conversation with the customer like that. You're pre-publishing, you're notifying the customer, you're drawing it up front. Everything is totally up front of what they can expect now and possibly even moving into the future, and they don't even, it just is what it is. And then you gravitate and qualify, and the reciprocal of what you're doing, like you attract the same exact type of people as what you flow with. They're looking for a customer they're looking for a contractor who's not the cheapest contractor because they want you to be around next year. They want a long-term viable relationship with you. They don't want to have that difficult conversation. They've already been through that. So the funny thing to me is when, now God bless the people that are on fixed incomes, I totally get it. But some people who've been around 40, 50, 60, 70 years and they're still having panic attacks. I'm not trying to judge them. I'm just saying for you as a small business owner to see this, they're still having these panic attacks, trying to save every penny, jumping through hoops to cut down contractors to get the cheapest price, and they haven't ever figured that out yet. That's not your problem. Just like it's not their problem that you can't figure out how to pay your bills, or you don't got your pricing right, or you don't. It's not their problem, but water seeks its own level. So it's not your problem, it's not their problem. That's why it's called business. And the more you see it as that, is the more you can just have the difficult conversation, raise the price, move on. So I raised the price, the lady said goodbye. I've had 100 of those conversations since then, and I've lost literally hundreds of clients. Now, a customer, a contractor would watch this video and say, yeah, that makes sense. Customers will see my videos sometimes, hopefully not my customers, but these videos, I get like, some of these videos are going viral on Facebook. I don't know why, but hey, cool. These videos are reaching a mainstream audience now, and I have literally people in the comments saying, pointing the finger at me, but generally at contractors, saying this is what's wrong with America. Look at these ripoffs. These guys expect to make good money. They expect to be able to have health insurance and pay for their taxes. And that's when I start acting like this, and people are like, look at him, he's crazy. He's crazy. Look at this guy. He expects to work. He expects to make good money and be able to take care of his family. Get him. Get him. Like, dude, I've done work for thousands of clients. We run a 5-star agency. We have like 200 positive 5-star reviews on Google. I bend over backwards for my clients. I don't act like this around them and on their properties. I'm composed. I take care of my clients. Like, I take my business very serious. We're a licensed and insured 5-star agency. Like, we really do. We're really stand up and we do a great job. Okay. I just want to say that I mean that. I'm not saying like I'm not trying to overcompensate for anything. I'm just trying to say I actually have a real service business and I've been through all this stuff and I really do care. But what I'm also saying is that a lot of the customers that we take care of are like the upper middle class to upper class socioeconomic strata. And people that live in, $750,000, $1 million homes. They have Range Rovers and BMWs in the driveway. They have vacation homes. They have big, beautiful in-ground pools in their backyard with like 50 to 100 grand just in landscaping or more. They have huge, huge windows. They're constantly spending money on all types of shit. And these people, I mean, what I'm saying is that these people didn't cross through some type of like weird quantum membrane from a different world and they're just like better than you and they deserve more than you. Like, they're just people. And they have hopes and dreams and fears and insecurities and all types of stuff and failures and wins and family problems. They're just people that happen to just I can't go through all the what's the word? The millions of factors why they're more financially, economically stable and successful, but there's all different types of reasons why. But I'm saying it doesn't make them any better than you. Just like, I think that on social media and in the world at large, at any time you go out and Brene Brown, The Power of Vulnerability, check her out on YouTube. She says stuff like this, like the real, the credit belongs to the people that are in the arena, that are actually out there fighting the fight for real and getting, blood on their face and really actually putting themselves out there. Not the people that are sitting in the stands criticizing. Like, don't even listen to those people. I think it's only important to listen to people that have actually done it or out there doing it and trying to do it. Anybody can just sit around on the internet and criticize. It doesn't help anything. So I've gone down a rabbit hole here. I want to say raise your prices. Believe in yourself, get motivated, get strong, have difficult conversations. If you're afraid to raise the price on your customers, then do the math. Just sit down with a notepad and a pen and a calculator for half an hour, go through your current customer list. I don't know if you have QuickBooks or you have P&L statements or what do you do to track all your customers, but I'm pretty sure you kind of know it. Go, how much do you charge all your customers? How many phone calls do you got coming in, the leads that you're generating and acquiring? How many of those customers are you closing that are saying yes? What is the average ticket price per customer? Is it 100, 200, 500, 1200? Our average ticket price is like $2,000, $2,500 right now, I think, our average ticket. I got to look at it. Everything's changing this year, and then find out what percentage of those customers say yes. So you can raise the bar mathematically and split test when you raise prices. Say, okay, I'm going to take these same customers that I already have, and I'm going to raise the price on all of them 10 to 15%. You might have to raise it 20% because of all the inflation. Now, all new customers, I'm going to split test those again. And some of those are going to get a 50% price and hike. The others are going to get a 20% price and hike. And it's not that you're ripping people off. You're just split testing because you have to run a profitable business in order to reinvest in the business so you can pay for all the cost of goods sold and all the overhead and marketing and advertising. And so you can buy that truck you need, the trailer you need, the van you need, do the marketing you need. The most successful businesses owners that I know that sleep well at night are ones that have the highest prices of all, because you know what they're proud about? It's not their big house and their fancy car and their bullshit vacation home. They care about creating a beautiful company culture where they can give employees a phenomenal place to work, where they can pay them well and pay for their employees' health insurance and have benefit and pension plans. Like, these are people who care about their community so much that they donate to charity. They do they have organizations that, it's a whole nother rabbit hole, but the most successful people I know are the most loving, caring, contributing, conscious, giving people that I know. They live in an abundant universe and they wouldn't even think about the scarcity thoughts of like, they just wouldn't even get into those positions. But I think you got to start somewhere, and over time you have to graduate through all the ranks and do the work and vibrate into the place where you're in this top upper economic quadrant of super high value. And super high value comes with knowing your worth. You have to know how worthy you are and deliver on that work and do what you say you're going to do when you say you're going to do it. So it's integrity, all these high vibrational things that all become in alignment and in accordance with that you eventually end up positioning yourself as someone who charges the prices that you want to charge. You do the work that you want to do. You only work with clients that you cherry pick that are a good fit, and you run a business that you love to run, and you live a life that you love, and you don't tolerate stupid bullshit from yourself or scarcity mindset stuff from yourself or others around you. And you don't attract scarcity minded clients who are looking for the cheapest price so they can haggle you down. You attract the best clients. And this is where you go from a business that's struggling and suffering, that you hate your business and it feels like a dead-end job, to a business that you love, where you feel like you're flying, and you wake up in the morning and you got your cup of coffee and you're crushing it and you love, you're on your way to Mrs. Jones, and Mr. Jones called, and Mr. Douglas and Mr. Johnson and all these customers, funny names, all these customers are like, dude, we're cranking it out. The most successful business owners I know are cranking it out. They're helping their clients on a super high level, and they're proud of the work that they do. And I'm not saying it's not stressful, it's super hard, but I mean, dude, the business that you love and the life that you love is one decision away. Well, it's a bunch of decisions, but you got to decide, right? Their decisions mean to cut. Decide means to cut, right? So you got to get enthusiastic. Enthusiasm means the God within. You got to get enthusiastic, motivated, and inspired, excited. Now, when you're in an excited state, you have to make a decision and sign on the dotted line that, hey, we're doing this thing. We got this. No more of the old. No more lukewarm. Moving forward in a brand new life, a brand new testimony, a brand new identity. You have to upgrade your identity and get rid of that old shit that no longer serves you, that you used to cling to for survival in the past to get you by. You're not trying to get by no more. You're trying to thrive. You're trying to thrive, and you're going to thrive, because that's what you do, is thrive, and that's who you are. That's who you be. That's what you do. That's what you're going to have. You're going to thrive. I'm in the bathroom on my phone making a video. This is dope.